Well, the situation with maternal health is dire in very many parts of the country, despite the Beyond Zero campaign, and specifically to do with Pumwani Hospital, which is our focus tonight. Yvonne, we've spoken about the general problems there, given the strike in March and the go-slow since March. But let's drill down on the statistics. What are they?
Not very good. So let's take a look at how far Pumwani has come. It will interest you to know that Pumwani was actually founded in 1926 by a charitable organization, and it was then handed over to the municipal council at the time in 1944. So Pumwani has been under Nairobi Municipal Council, City Council, and now County Government since 1944. So this is what it looks like on a good day in Pumwani Hospital. 80 to 100 babies are born daily. Out of those, 20 to 24 are by cesarean section. Now, right now, Pumwani Hospital has 2 functional 24-hour theaters, and both of these, obviously need staffing, and we'll get to those numbers in a moment. Total bed capacity there is about 150. Now, this is the number that is contentious right now. 186 nurses on the payroll at Pumwani. Now, out of those, on any given day, there are about 30 on shift. Yes, because there's others who are on leave, there's others who are off shift, there's others who've been on night shift, and for every night shift, apparently you get a day off. So total of 186 and just 30 during any given shift. Now, right now, after the go-slow, 61 of those were suspended. Now, the Kenya National Union of Nurses has continued to say that this number of 186 falls far short, and we'll get to some of those recommended statistics in just a moment. The union recommends 427, and they're saying that this is what will be needed. Now, why are they on a go-slow? We'll get to some of these other numbers in a moment. They're on a go-slow because they're talking about their uniform allowances being withheld, and they're also decrying, their security or lack thereof following that incident in January with the twins. They also are against that evaluation exercise that's about to begin by the SRC. So those 30 nurses that are on shift on any given day, if we can go forward now, are usually attending to some of these units at Pumwani. There we go. So we have the labor ward, which is where the mothers have their children. Postnatal, this is where the mothers recover after normal delivery. Antenatal, this is open Monday to Friday, and it's obviously for the mothers to come in for prenatal care. The post-surgical unit is where mothers recuperate after a C-section. Remember, we said on a good day, there are about 20 to 24 C-sections in a day, 2 fully functional theaters. Obviously, you have the newborn unit where the babies are, kept and fed and kept warm after they're delivered. And we have the triage, which is the sort of emergency unit where mothers come in distress. From the triage, they're most likely taken into labor or will be admitted if they have certain issues. We also have more units for you there, like the sterilization and the acute ward. Now, the acute ward takes mothers in distress who may be admitted due to some pregnancy-related issues, high blood pressure. If we can move on to the next one, just so you can take a look at some of those units at Pumwani. So those 30 nurses who are on shift are usually spread out to these units at any given time. If we can move forward a little bit to now taking a look at the recommended ratios. Can we move to the recommended ratios in just a moment? Right. Now, these recommended ratios that we're about to give you are prescribed by the World Health Organization, Nursing Council of Kenya, as well as the International Council of Nurses. Okay. So I'm told we don't have those boards right now. Perhaps we can try and get them a little later, but let me just explain to you what it means. Now, in the labor ward, there's supposed to be a ratio of 1 to 1. So that's 1 nurse to 1 mother. Right now in the labor ward, and these are some of the statistics and figures we are getting, 54 beds, 4 to 5 nurses during that shift. So that's 1 to 10 in the labor ward. So essentially what this means is that 1 nurse or midwife is dealing with 10 women in labor. 10 women in labor. If there is a complication, and excuse my phrase, which mother in agony, which screaming mother do you attend to when you're 1 nurse to 10? And, the ratios just continue. In the antenatal unit, it's supposed to be 1 to 5. It's actually 1 to 7. The numbers aren't looking too good. In the newborn unit, it should be 1 to 4. So that's 1 nurse to 4 babies. Right now, the reality is an average of about 1 to 10. Now, right now, after the Go Slow, let's paint this picture for you. There's just one fully functioning theatre because they do not have enough numbers to staff the others. Because usually a theatre has one doctor, one anesthetist, and 3 nurses. Right now, with 61 who've been suspended, the question is, what's happening? If you take a look at the birth rates, remember, maybe we can go to the previous slide where we talked about 80 to 100 babies delivered a day. Right now, it's down to less than 20. The C-sections from 20 to 24 in a day, it's down to about 4 to 6 in a day. So the question is, where are all these mothers going to if they're not going to Pumwani? And please remember, John, finally, that remember with the advent of free maternal health care, the number of mothers going to Pumwani has increased by 60%. The number of staff remains the same.
It's remained the same. And just by looking at the statistics and drilling down on those, you can tell the sort of choices that nurses have to make on a daily basis, the sort of choices that doctors have to make. And like you rightly stated, the choices that mothers now have to make sort of makes you wonder whether we are back to the days prior to the freeing up of maternal health in terms of the cost and what that portends for maternal health, especially in Nairobi, one of the biggest hospitals. Really an unfortunate situation.
And Pumwani is so important, not just in Kenya, in the region as well. So that is the question we're asking today.